Once upon a time, in a lush, green forest teeming with life, there lived a hare who was incredibly proud of his speed. "I am the fastest animal in all the land," he would boast to anyone who would listen. "No one can beat me in a race. No one." He would zip from one end of the meadow to the other in the blink of an eye, leaving a trail of dust and astonished critters behind. One sunny morning, as the hare was bragging near the riverbank, a slow, steady tortoise ambled past. The hare, seeing a perfect opportunity to show off, scoffed loudly. "Well, well, look what we have here. If it isn't the slowest creature in the entire world, I bet you take a whole day just to cross this field." The other animals giggled, but the tortoise simply turned his head, a calm and wise look in his eyes. "You may be fast, Mr. Hare," he said in a quiet, even voice, "but being fast doesn't always mean you win. I challenge you to a race." The hare burst out laughing, a loud, booming laugh that echoed through the trees. "You? Challenge me? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. All right, Slowpoke, you're on. This will be the easiest victory of my life." The news of the race spread like wildfire. On the day of the big event, animals from all corners of the forest gathered along the path. A wise old owl perched on a branch agreed to be the judge. "The finish line," hooted the owl, "is at the big oak tree on the other side of the hill. On your marks, get set, go!" And they were off. As expected, the hare shot forward like an arrow from a bow. He was a blur of white fur, disappearing over the first rise in mere seconds. He glanced back and could barely even see the starting line, let alone the tortoise. The tortoise, on the other hand, had just taken his first few determined, plodding steps. He wasn't flustered. He just kept moving, one foot in front of the other, his eyes fixed on the path ahead. The hare ran and ran, putting a massive distance between himself and the tortoise. He was so far ahead that he thought, "This is just too easy. I've practically won already. I think I'll just rest for a bit. Why rush?" He spotted a shady patch of grass under a large carrot patch. "A quick nap won't hurt," he yawned, stretching his long legs. "Even if he does catch up, I'll wake up and still beat him easily." He nibbled on a few carrots, and soon the warm sun and his full belly lulled him into a deep, deep sleep. Meanwhile, the tortoise just kept going. He didn't stop, he didn't look around, and he certainly didn't get discouraged. He just kept his steady pace. Step by step, inch by inch, he moved forward. He passed the babbling brook, he climbed the rocky patch, and he walked right past the field where the hare was snoring peacefully, dreaming of his victory. The tortoise saw the hare sleeping, but he didn't gloat. He just kept his focus on the goal and continued on his way. The sun started to dip lower in the sky. The hare suddenly woke up with a jolt. "Oh my goodness, how long was I asleep?" He looked back down the path, expecting to see the tortoise far, far in the distance. But the path was empty. He then looked ahead, towards the finish line. And he couldn't believe his eyes. There, just a few feet away from the big oak tree, was the tortoise, steadily approaching the finish line. A wave of panic washed over the hare. He scrambled to his feet and began to run as fast as he possibly could, his heart pounding in his chest. "No, no, no, this can't be happening," he thought. He ran faster than he had ever run before, a desperate streak of white fur. But it was too late. Just as the hare was about to lunge for the finish, the tortoise took his final deliberate step and crossed the line. The crowd of animals erupted in cheers. They lifted the tortoise onto their shoulders, celebrating his incredible win. The hare stood there, panting and completely stunned. He, the fastest animal in the forest, had lost to the slowest. The wise old owl flew down and landed beside the hare. "Let this be a lesson to you," the owl hooted gently. "Your great talent is a gift, but arrogance can make you lose sight of the finish line. The race is not always to the swift." The tortoise, from atop the shoulders of his friends, smiled kindly at the hare and said, "Slow and steady wins the race." And from that day on, the hare was a little less boastful and a lot more humble. He learned that consistency, determination, and never giving up are just as important, if not more so, than raw talent alone. It's a timeless lesson for all of us. It doesn't matter how you start. What matters is that you keep going and never, ever give up on your goal. Thank you so much for watching this story with us today. If you enjoyed it and want to see more classic fables and inspiring tales, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you join our community. See you in the next video.